What up? What up? What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Three Clarks Podcast. I am your host, Dwayne, alongside,
Shantae.
and we're here for another Thursday night along Three Clarks. Of course, y'all notice it's just the two of us.
Yeah.
Once again,
We're missing
we're missing
Mr. Joppers.
one of the third Clarks, and behind the board tonight is Miss Lil Rachel, the other third Clark of the three Clarks. So she's running the boards tonight. So we are here doing a nice little pre-recorded show. So all y'all comments that y'all putting on, we're watching them live, but we're not talking about them live. So
And
we're
we'll
here.
comment.
So we're gonna comment. So we just pre-recording tonight because it's gonna be easier for us to do it this way to work out any kinks.
Any kinks.
Any kinks.
You hear him? Any
Kinks. Any kinks. So
Any kinks.
kink, not kinky, kinks. We got children in the building. So what's going on, Shantae? What's going on? I know Tuesday was a big day, big day, big day. It was a big day. It was election day all over the country. The midterm elections came up, and a lot of people had governor races. A lot of people had senator races. Everybody was voting for the House representatives. There were a lot of local races going on in people houses in but let's talk about the big races. The ones that everybody's talking about all over the country, which got to do with where we live.
Unfortunately.
Georgia. The blue wave did not hit this time.
I know. Sad to say.
And I was in it because Shantae came home from work. I think it was you came home about 3 o'clock talking about, I thought you'd have news on. I said, well, not till 7. Polls don't close till 7. And I was on there watching.
I got depressed. I went on upstairs. I was like, I'm tired of looking at this.
Well, how you get depressed? You don't know if polls is closed. Because actually, when the polls closed, Stacey Abrams was in the lead by a lot because Fulton County had already counted there. So she was just booming. And then all of the other counties started coming in.
I mean, the thing is that, the year that Trump got elected, the years prior to him getting elected, the Republicans were very strategic about how they got the counties rezoned. And so some of that was mostly in part due to that. But then you have the fact that those outer counties, I mean, they simply do not historically vote Democratic.
Yeah.
So the only way for us to truly see a difference is to really campaign in those areas, or really try to build businesses that will attract more people that think the way that the Democratic Party thinks. Not necessarily black or white, because it's not really a black or white issue, but it's really, the mindset of, the person. And what's interesting is traditionally Democrats were for the more impoverished, because of their policies, because they were the ones who were very big on welfare, and they were very big on Social Security. And so those are the type of things that the Democratic Party kind of brought into play. So it's very interesting to me that the podunk towns vote Republican because all of the programs that really assisted them were the programs that Democrats put in place. So I just don't even know.
It's more of, I think it's more of a fear. There's just a fear going on with the Republicans. They put out fear ads. They're gonna take your guns. They're gonna they're gonna kill your babies. They're gonna discriminate against your white people. And I'm saying these as points, but this is as they actually got ran during the political process. Like, okay, they're killing your babies. They're gonna take your guns. They discriminate because you're white. They just don't, they don't care about you and your whatever your beliefs are. It's like, people don't understand you should vote for it. And I don't even go with a Democrat or Republican. I say go for people that best suits your lifestyle and to help your life. So people that are more impoverished in a countryside, a Democratic Party would do them much better, because the Republicans are about rich billionaires and rich folks that don't give a damn about you.
Well, okay, so
That's what I said.
yes and no. They do provide good tax benefits to people who typically own businesses.
Mhm.
So that's a big thing for them, especially when you are in the higher $1 million kind of league. But I will say that I feel as I've gotten older
Mhm.
that I'm right on the line. I'm definitely not necessarily a Republican, but
Mhm.
I do feel that some of their views are similar, especially when it comes to the money and different breaks that they may be giving.
Yeah.
I do think that they do benefit the tax bracket that I currently reside in, but I know that for the greater good of what is happening with my people, my colored people, um the Democratic Party is the way to go. I mean, that's simply saying that, it's bigger than just me.
Mm. There you go. There you go. That's how she feels about it. But we know, I tell people go out and vote because there is a runoff in
Mhm.
Georgia, one of the biggest runoffs they've been talking about because it's going to decide the fate of the Senate with Reverend Dr. Raphael Warnock and Herschel.
Is it doctor or reverend?
It's
Or
both.
reverend and
Nah, that's
doctor? Which
he has
comes
a
first?
he has a doctorate in philosophy and he's a reverend also.
So he
He's a
has a
pastor.
doctorate in philosophy.
Uh,
So he's pontificating on the pontifications.
or he has a doctorate in theology. Might be
There you
theology.
go.
It might be theology, not
There you go.
philosophy.
Maybe not
It's
philosophy, but
theology,
probably theology.
theology. So
Okay.
he has a runoff, which they changed the rules because runoffs used to be people would have enough time to get re-registered to vote if they didn't register to vote before, and then the runoff would go up
So
till
I guess
January.
y'all 4 million people in Georgia who did not vote, you guys have a second chance.
You didn't vote. If you're registered to vote, please go out and vote.
And we're assuming that those are Democrats. So let me not let me not say let me not say
it might
that.
be Republicans that say, "Oh, we knew we was gonna win. That's why we didn't go vote."
Right.
So they didn't care.
Right.
So
We might not need to say that. We just assuming that it was Democrats that were not voting.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a whole nother situation. So it's going down December 6th. It is a runoff. So get your butt out there and vote, people. Vote, 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 vote. Your life depends on it because I don't want idiot Herschel Walker in there.
And that is a fact, Jack,
Idiot.
because that means he definitely ain't gonna be making no
Because
decisions.
2 years ago, Herschel was not living in Georgia.
I feel like there
They
needs to be a
moved his ass to
stipulation.
Georgia.
I feel like there needs to be
Texas.
a
That's where he was living.
stipulation that you have got to be a citizen,
He's a citizen.
a resident of the state that you're representing
for at least 15 years.
Well, at least 10 years.
10 years. Okay, 10 years.
10 years, I feel like. Maybe 7 years. 7 years is like kind of like that good mark to say, okay, you have been here, you know what's going on with us, and you can represent us because you have a working knowledge and understanding of what is happening within your community.
Have you talked to the people? You've been around the people. So,
right.
Dr. Warnock, he is at church every Sunday preaching. He said he hasn't left his pulpit, so he preaches every Sunday. So people,
how does that work?
He probably fly. Well, he probably flies in on Friday. Well, they don't really work. I don't think they really work on Friday.
So how does that work? So you might need to stop while you ahead.
No, he says it on his campaign ads that he flies in every.
How he preaches
every. Well, no, let me say that. He preaches every Sunday at his church. So I don't know if he might.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
He might Zoom preach. He might Zoom preach, but he said he preaches every Sunday at his church. So who knows? But all right. So that was the election. So people get out and vote. The election's going on. So I just came across this article, and I think it's very I don't know if it's specific or it's basically just something that I probably
Specific. Thank you.
Specific.
Lord,
that's specific or that relates to me personally, and it might be something because so there's an article, and this is the headline, people. Lottery accused of systematic racism, a massive Powerball playout.
after massive Powerball playout.
Yes. So I think that maybe because it's saying that they know that there's a majority of black and brown people that play the lottery, scratch offs and what you call it. So I think the statistics are, the ratio is a lot more black and brown people play the scratch off and the numbers more than anybody else.
Okay.
But most of the big payouts have been in areas that don't have a lot of black and brown population. The black and brown population is a little bit
well,
less.
I was just saying that so I have some counterparts that I work with, and they're based out of Utah.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, hey, I need to send y'all my money so we can win, because it seemed like y'all the only folks that win.
Utah.
And everybody started laughing. They're like, that's true.
Yeah. So California, the record-setting $2.04 billion lottery Powerball ticket was picked in Altadena, California.
In where? Altadena.
Altadena. I don't know the area. Never been there. I know California is a lot of brown people, so hopefully a brown person won. But they're saying that the research shows that a lot of lottery tickets are sold more high rates in low income areas than they are in more affluent areas.
You know why?
Because they want to get to that affluent area.
No, because they know that in the lower populated areas, people are looking a lot for get rich quick schemes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So when you're in a more affluent area, they're like, I already got money. It'll be cool to win, but I mean, I already got everything I need. So I'm not trying to win the lottery because they've already made their money from,
stocks and bonds and working at a job and selling their company.
That's right.
Or buying Twitter.
I mean, not necessarily. They got 6-figure incomes and they're not struggling.
They're not struggling, so they can go on their vacations and they can buy their cars, and they don't have to worry check to check and where their groceries coming from, so they straight. So, speaking of Twitter, since I jumped on Twitter, so Elon Musk has put it out there that people that want to get verified on Twitter have to pay $8.99. So anybody who wants to be verified can pay $8.99 to be verified.
A scheme. Oh,
it is a scheme. So he said, "How are we gonna pay it?" He said, "I got to be able to pay for it with getting rid of bots and scammers." So he's saying the $8.99 to help pay for Twitter. But in saying that, you're having regular folks or scammers now are paying verified ads and using real people's names. So somebody just did LeBron James, but they did
LeBron.
LeBron.
They did LeBron James. They're doing LeBron. So LeBron.
So what they did, they got the blue check verified, but they said King James with a Z. So they weren't officially LeBron James account, but people, if you didn't notice the Z, you wouldn't notice it wasn't official. So
LeBron.
So he said, "I'm finally out of LA. I'm requesting a trade, this, that, and the other." So that's what
they put on his Twitter.
That's what they put on their Twitter account. That LeBron James request. So that's why people say, okay, that's going to be some BS, because you can change one letter in the middle, and if people don't realize,
you gotta have, whatever you're trying to verify, that's what need to be on your card.
Well, I think the original thing for Twitter with the verification people was for journalists, because a lot of journalists use Twitter to get out news and get stuff out fast. So they wanted to make sure that
I have not used Twitter in about 15 years.
We're on Twitter tonight, so stop. So it's
I have not physically used Twitter in about 15 years, and I heard people be snapping on Twitter.
Yes, it's unrated too, so they be doing crazy stuff.
I heard Twitter be going crazy, but I don't even know how to log into Twitter. I'm gonna be honest with you. So if you didn't catch me on the Instagram, I don't know what the hell going on.
Yeah, because you're not hardly on Facebook. I catch you on Facebook Messenger every now and then. I send them messages.
Oh, you send me. You send. Oh, yeah, he do be sending me messages. Sometimes I be like, "What is
I'll be seeing an article, or I see something funny. I send it to her, and she might hit me about 3 days later. I don't say nothing to her in the house. I come home, or I'm in the other room in the office. She working. I don't say nothing. 3 days later, you sent me this. I'm like, I sent you that 4 days ago.
Now, if he hit me on the Insta like he did, sent me this old crazy message from Will Smith.
The Will said he looked directly at the camera, looked directly at you, and said, "I'm sorry." That's what Will Smith did.
And I sent him back a message, and I said, "I'm not having it."
Oh my goodness. Will Smith said, "I'm sorry." And he just kept saying, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." That's what Will Smith. Will Smith got a movie coming out, so he's trying to promote his movie.
Exactly. That's why I'm not.
He got a movie. He got a movie coming out. They said this movie has Oscar nomination themes in it. So if he get nominated for Oscar,
he can't show up.
He can't show up. His wife can. She can show up and win it, but take it for him. But of course, she's going to.
And everybody gonna boo her off the stage. At least I am. I'll be like, boo.
She's gonna show up, and she probably won't show up. Probably one of his kids may show up because she's gonna be in solidarity with her husband and not show up because he.
I might be okay with because the kids ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, one of his kids, like his daughter or his son, one of his sons show up and
the kids ain't got nothing to do with it. But
you don't think so?
Yeah,
you don't think so?
They better not nominate him. I feel like you on punishment still.
You gotta see the movie because he can't go there for 10 years.
I'm not about to see the movie.
It's on Apple TV. We have Apple TV. It's gonna be on Apple TV in December.
We not watching it.
We?
I'm not watching it. You standing in solidarity with me, like Jada standing in solidarity with Will.
We.
I
didn't know it was a we not watching it.
Damn straight.
Man. So, speaking of celebrities, so Shantae, did you hear about the Kyrie Irving situation, the basketball player?
No.
Okay. So just to refresh your memory, or for everybody who doesn't know, Kyrie Irving plays for the
who?
Kyrie Irving.
Slow down.
Kyrie Irving plays for the Brooklyn Nets, I should say, not New York. And on Twitter, a couple weeks or a month ago, he retweeted a cover of a movie that's supposedly anti-Semitic.
Okay.
So people saw it.
Mm-hmm.
They came at him, asked him, "Is he anti-Semitic?" He would not. He would not blatantly say. Yeah, he wouldn't blatantly say, "I am not anti-Semitic." I don't believe he said people know who I am. So he got suspended for 5 days. NBA got suspended from his contract with Nike. So then they put out this statement, said there's 5 things that he needs to do to get back. But I have a problem. Well, first of all, I just think Kyrie's just a fool.
Okay, so what are the 5 things? Because you just skipping through
the 5 things. He has to blatantly. He has to 100% condemn, renounce
Satanism. Oh, I'm sorry.
Anti-Semitic views.
Okay.
The movie. Donate $500,000 to anti-Semitic causes. Have a conversation with the Anti-Defamation League. Sit down and with the commissioner of basketball.
They're doing too much.
And so that's what I'm saying. They're doing too much. The man came out and he officially said, "I'm not anti-Semitic. I apologize if I hurt any group of people such and such." That should have been it. Because first of all,
but you shouldn't have to pay no money now.
No, he tried to, and he tried to at the beginning, but they said they didn't want to go accept it because he wouldn't officially denounce the anti-Semitic views. So he officially did it, but I don't know if he's gonna donate the money now. But the thing is, the Black Twitter is going crazy and saying it's like going back to slave days of buck breaking, where you would make a black man. You bring him out in front of all the slaves and make him repent and say "master" instead of saying
Toby.
Yeah, Toby, just like they did in the Roots. You butt breaking him because he's more defiant.
I'm Kunta
Kinte. And he's being defiant, and you're going to break him to make sure that he gets in line so all the other slaves get in line. So that's what some people are akinning this to. You're trying to, a black man.
Akinning?
Yes, akinning this to. Because he's a black man.
He is on a roll tonight.
He's a black man out there doing his thing, making a lot of money, and he's got to atone and say all this for the anti-Semitic views. But the problem is, the movie's on Amazon. Mm-hmm. Nobody said Amazon is anti-Semitic because they're carrying the movie. But they say he's
So
promoting.
what did he do? He just posted
He
it
just retweeted.
and said, "Watch it."
He just retweeted it.
Why?
I guess it was something about
Did he
know your
like
history.
it?
Something about knowing your history. I said I don't even know if he
What
even
was
seen
the
it.
comment?
What was the comment? I had to find the official
Okay, well,
comment.
we'll find the official comment and report back. But I'm just trying to understand why he needed to pay some money for forwarding a post.
Exactly.
That's really stupid.
And that's a shame. That's a shame. But people
And
are
like
going.
they think they can get away with murder.
That's always what they think they do. So I was like, the
Mhm.
man apologized. He said he doesn't think that. But then the Black Twitter, they going after anybody and everybody,
Mhm.
saying, well, you can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Everybody can't do anything. And everybody's a little bit too sensitive about that. A little bit too sensitive. So I guess they took it off. I can't find it right away what he tweeted. I should probably go to the world famous Google and see that. But what else is going on with you, Shantae? What's else in the is happening? We've talked about the election. We've talked about we got the most important thing. Wakanda forever.
For those of us who are on the Fringe chat, we are going on Sunday. So I look forward to seeing all of you guys. I feel like I haven't gotten with you guys all as a group in a few weeks. So I miss you guys and love you. So we will see you guys on Sunday.
So all he did was retweet Heroes to Negroes. The movie's called Heroes to Negroes. Wake Up Black America, the movie. So he didn't even caption it. He just retweeted.
Well, what you gonna do?
I don't know what
This is called the price of fame.
You have to fall in line with everybody.
This is the price of fame. So that's what we're gonna say.
Yeah, that is the price of fame.
Oh, Rachel seems very bored with this topic. She's blowing her breath very hard right now.
No.
Are we over? Are we over our time, darling? How far are we into our time?
Like 22 minutes and 12, 10, 15, 16.
Okay.
22. How many minutes? 22?
22 minutes.
Okay. 5 more minutes and we're off the air, people. So, as I was saying, Wakanda forever.
Yeah. And what you got going on? You got deals, wheels and deals happening.
Houses are being sold, people. I'm out here selling these houses, creating deals for people, getting them underpriced, getting people deals again. Deals are back. Well, I don't think I have ever had in my I really have never had to pay full price for a property or had my client pay full price. I think almost every client I've had, I've got them under, except for the new construction. Except for the new construction, I've got every resale client I've had either equity or I got them home under asking price with equity and closing costs, or I've gotten them way under Lloyd, other than the brand new construction ones that I've got, because I never can work on those. So, in my career. So if you're looking to buy a house, people, just because the interest, don't get that thing where the interest rates are 6-7% now. Think about when back in 1990s when interest rates were 18, 15, 18, 19%, and people were still buying houses. The market's going to change. You're going to be able to refinance the 6-7%. It's the time for now. So everybody's stuck on the 2 and 3% during those 3-4 years. Think about it. Before the pandemic, interest rates were at 5% now. They're at 5 or 6%. They weren't at 6 or 7, but before the pandemic, they were at 5%. So people got to understand that 1.5%, just think about your interest rate depending on the price of the house.
Yeah, it does make a difference. Like, I don't want to say it doesn't make a difference. It does, but he does have a good point.
It does have a good point.
Eventually, within the next, I think I was looking at a forecast on interest rates a couple of weeks ago, and it was saying in about 4 years that interest rate will eventually come down. So if you can get locked in at an APR, in your 6 range, possibly on the lower 6 end, in about 4 years, you can look to refinance. And at that point,
And a real estate professional is saying it's going to be less time than that. She's saying it from a business sense of working and watching watching the market things, and more people who are being in the real estate business are saying it's going to fall, within maybe less than a year or two. It's just because we're trying to get past the inflation when it comes to the food prices, and everybody's going out buying because Christmas. If everybody's still going out and buying and buying and buying and buying, and there's not enough for everybody to have, it's like the inflation comes. So then the inflation really baffles me at times right now. But it's like, okay, they're saying because people are buying too much, and there's not enough for everybody, so we got to raise the prices so they'll stop buying too much.
Well, I mean, that's especially in the housing market because really, truthfully, the prices of houses are just really getting astronomical, to be honest with you. I mean, you were seeing things going for, $700,000 that was only like,
3 or 4,
2,000 square feet. Is like, really? You're tripping.
Well, it depends on location, Key.
I'm not going to spend that much on something that is that small. But anyways, that's our time.
Also, be on the lookout. I heard that Dave Chappelle is coming back to host Saturday Night Live. He seems to host Saturday Night Live after every election. So he always goes off on what happens during the election. So he hosted the first time he hosted right after Trump won. I think right before, right after Trump won, he hosted. Then he hosted again right after Trump lost. Now he's hosting again right after these midterm elections. So be on the lookout for that Saturday Night Live and clips because Dave Chappelle is hilarious, and that's one person they can't cancel. They try to cancel everybody else, but Dave Chappelle, you can't cancel me. I'm gonna say what I want to. I'm a comedian. He keeps it real, and I like it like that. So,
and again, don't forget to go vote.
Don't get to vote. If you're in Georgia, if you're in these other states that have runoffs, go ahead and make sure you get out there and vote. So we want to thank y'all for joining us, and we're going to be on the chat with y'all tonight. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us every Thursday night. I am Dwayne.
And I'm still Shantae.
And Jeffrey, we're going to catch you next week.
Peace.
Peace.